Hello there. I just wrapped up finishing a video on 3 tips or hacks to include pizza into your diet. And it made me think of a very important lesson that I've learned myself this year and over the course of the last year as I've been studying and digging more into nutrition and into health. And I wanted to share that lesson with you because I think it's quite important and it can affect you. A lot of people sometimes if they are on a diet, and it can affect them maybe a bit negatively. So I just want to share with you that lesson that I learned. And that is, when it comes to dieting, not to look at things in terms of black and white, or rather, for the case of something like pizza, not to look at it as in terms of good or bad, right? You see this a lot. You see these diets out there and they're very black and white. You should eat this or you shouldn't eat that. You shouldn't eat this and you must avoid that. And it's a very black and white way of thinking, and it's really, I'm going to explain why you can get into a bit of a funk if you think that way. So you might have seen these shows on TV or these documentaries. There was one called That Sugar Film, and it shows the process of the guy excluding sugar from his diet and all the changes that his body goes through, and then he includes sugar and how he picks up weight and how his vitals and his bodily functions all start deteriorating and things like that, right? And so they paint this very negative picture about sugar, right? And in general, if you do eat too much sugar, yes, it's not a good idea. But what happens when a lot of people see something like this, and I know from personal experience, I used to do this myself too, which is why I want to share the lesson with you. You start to think of it as you shouldn't eat sugar. It's very black and white, avoid sugar, don't eat it, right? And that is a dangerous area to go into, because when you start looking at things in terms of good or bad, you start to associate a negative emotion with it. So for example, let's say someone is on a diet and they slip up and they eat something that has a lot of sugar in, or they have a piece of chocolate, right? Now, if you are conditioned to think that that is bad, then automatically you're going to have a negative emotion associated with that. And that can actually make the situation worse, because if you have these negative emotions, those can actually cause you to snack and to overeat and to go on binges, right? It's been proven that if you're stressed out, or if you're feeling bad about yourself, a lot of people turn to food as a way to sort of comfort themselves, right? So when you are dieting, or you're trying to eat healthy, or you're working on a fitness program for yourself, rather than look at things in terms of good or bad or black and white, the most important lesson that I've learned over the last year by working with a lot of people, talking to a lot of people and studying a lot, is that everything is okay, in the right quantities. So if you're eating a healthy, balanced lifestyle and it's healthy most of the time, there's no reason why you can't include a little bit of sugar here and there. Same thing with the controversy about meat and how meat causes cancer. Listen, right? If you're not eating tons and tons and tons of meat every day and grilling it, and burning it and getting it all smoky, that you have a little bit of meat here and there, that's also perfectly fine. It's the same with something like alcohol. One drink here and there every now and then is not the end of the world. You don't have to cut it out completely. You don't have to cut sugar out completely. You don't have to cut meat. If you had to cut out all the things that people are looking at in terms of black and white or good and bad, there wouldn't be much left for you to eat and and things to enjoy in life. So I really just want to let you know that it was an important lesson for me, and I'd like to share with you that it's much more better to look at things in terms of a balanced view rather than black and white. And that's not just in terms of food and dieting as well. That's just in terms of general things in life, and the way you look at things in general. So I hope you found this helpful. I just wanted to share that lesson with you, and I will see you in the next video.